Well, hi, everybody, and welcome back to the Ascension Playground. This is your friend Ursie, and I'm so excited to continue this journey with you of the 22 major arcana, this picture book of wisdom of the Tarot. We began, of course, with the Fool, beginning the journey, not knowing anything but the pure delight of being, and then moving to the Magician, who can manifest as above, so below. And then our next journey was into working with and understanding the High Priestess, the one who is connected to the celestial realms, the great intuitive feminine. Today, we're here to talk about the Empress. We're now moving into the mundane world, the world of the everyday. So, where the High Priestess was above, trying to connect and even maybe set apart from the mundane, everyday busyness, the High Priestess would have been in a secluded type of temple to focus on receiving messages from above and sharing that out to the masses through the proper channels. Here instead, now we're looking at the Empress who rules from the earthly planes. Let's see what she has to share with us as far as the pathway. I'm going to share some slides. It's been a journey. You can't really race through the 22 multi-dimensional pathways of tarot. It's something that you kind of move into and then you kind of pause and go within. Each of the cards' journeys, it's like moving outward for expression and then inward for reflection. Okay, so I'm recording in September of 2023, the final week of this month, and we've just passed the Libra equinox, which is asking us to stay in balance of light and dark, of night and day. So, in talking about the Empress, we'll also be thinking soon about the Emperor. Isn't it interesting, though, that the Emperor does not go first? Instead, the Empress is card number 3. Remember, the Fool is 0, and then the 1 card is the Magician. Secondly is the High Priestess. And now we get to the second feminine, the Empress. Here she is. So we are going to be opening up this powerful book of wisdom and saying, tell us more. What is it about the Empress that we can learn from? Especially if you start playing with the cards, this card comes up. I am looking through the lens, however, of what's the pathway of the Empress from a multi-dimensional lens. In other words, are there 22 aspects of my beingness in this life and other lifetimes, or even other planetary systems, that can help inform me in this now moment? So it's a rather kind of quantum type of leap to say, show me all of me these experiences so that I might be better informed as I'm making my way in the 3rd dimension as Ursula or Ursie. Here we go. Rulers of the mundane realms, the Empress and the Emperor. And again, the journey begins with the Empress. If we think thousands of years ago, our societies were governed by, first, the feminine. She is the creator being, the great mother, the one who can bring life forward. And the masculine, or the male, was in service to support her as the creator being. So interesting, again, that the Empress shows up before the Emperor card. Sharing these side by side as they both rule within the mundane realms, within the earthly 3rd dimension. So we're looking archetypally at their energy. Just what are the broad brushstrokes today? So this one particular meaning is for the Empress. You can do anything you want and be happy with the results. What is the meaning for the Emperor? Own your space with confidence. So, whether you are male or female, whether you embody more masculine or feminine, the Libra equinox, this balancing moment, is asking to say, you can do both. Own your space with confidence, O Emperor. And for the Empress, card number 3, you can do anything you want and be happy with the results. Here's a slide to remind me to share the positioning of as the Fool begins the journey of descent before ascension. So it's traveling the whole mandala or the wheel of experiences, opening up to a multi-dimensional experience when you get off the third dimensional timeline. How can these energies in this now moment inform my path? When you look at the tree of life in the Kabbalah, we find, first of all, the pathway of the Empress begins in the spiritual realms of Keter, the crown, number 1 at the top of the tree. And it moves in a column down to the 6th Sephirot of beauty. So, working with the spiritual nature of as above, and the Empress is bringing in the heart of the whole tree of life is Teferet, beauty, right? And then you see in the other column, working with Chokmah, the 2nd Sephirot of wisdom, is the Emperor's path, moving from wisdom to mercy. Interesting, right? How the Empress basically works from the spiritual realms. And I'm getting a sense that it's because she's so attuned to her body. She goes within, she works with the cycles of the moon and the sun, and is so connected to as above and bringing beauty or life through her. Whereas the emperor is more concerned with, how do I rule with wisdom and mercy? The pathway of the emperor and the empress. Here we are landing on a slide that basically sums up a lot of information. Okay, the empress, card number 3. So working with the number 3 in her numerology. Okay, and the Hebrew letter Daleth, that flame letter. Look how it's like a beautiful, here's the spiritual, bringing it down into the mundane. The Empress card is ruled by the planet Venus, or what we say is Venus is connected with the Empress Tarot card. This is the sign of, yes, the planet, but also the idea of love, truth, beauty, right? The nurturance, high feminine receptivity. Okay, so the divine feminine held in the archetype of Venus as she's working with the mundane world. Now, the higher octave of Venus, as many of you may know, is Neptune. That is about cosmic love. When Venus is working with the Empress card, she again is working with the earth, the mundane. So when we see Venus's orbit, we understand that it is connected to our solar system. Other words for the Empress in this tarot card are the Queen card. Instead of an Empress, King and Queen, Emperor, Empress, night and day. The beautiful goddess Isis, the one who not only created birth with Horus, but found the multi-dimensional way of restoring her husband, brother, Osiris, so that he too could create with her and bring forward life. Urania is connected to this, one of the stars of the heavens, the collector Urania. Mother Nature herself is connected with the Empress card, fertility goddess, and won't you just love this metaphor, Aphrodite, the goddess of love. In fact, here she is. Here's Sandro Botticelli, the Renaissance Italian painter, creating the famous painting called The Birth of Venus. She came riding in on a clamshell, fully formed, with the wind blowing and Flora ready to drape the naked or nude Venus as she's coming onto the land. You can do anything you want and be happy with the results, again, is the message of the Empress. So we're looking again for another time at this beautiful pathway between the crown, the first Sephiroth of the beautiful tree of life, and the pathway of the Empress that goes from the spiritual realm in the center column all the way down to this heart of the tree, which is the sixth Sephiroth of beauty. And here behind me, I found this image through the James Webb Telescope of Venus. She's such a beautiful planet. I mean, you can just almost feel this energy when we're starting to see the physical planet of Venus. So let's take a look again at some of the things that the tarot card actually is giving us for the Empress card to inform our pathway, again, from the spiritual realms into the center of the tree, our heart of beauty. All right. So the upright meaning for the card is mother, fertility, femininity at the highest level of rulership. She's carrying a sphere in one hand. She's wearing a crown of 12 beautiful stars representing the 12 months of the year, the 12 stars. She's sitting in nature, and we see a heart with the glyph of Venus below her as part of her throne. There's a waterfall that's behind her, and she's wearing a robe with what looks to be like pomegranates or roses, along with her image of the glyph of Venus. Now, for some of you, you may notice that I actually wear this little glyph myself, and it's reminding me when I see Venus that this is another marker for the one who rules from the heart, okay? Not necessarily feminine, but the nurturing leader, okay? So what else do we see? The green of the card representing nature. Red is vitality, passion, creative juices, wanting to paint or have music, poetry, the songs of our soul. So I wanted to show this little card with you just to look at what are the symbols that she carries. The scepter with an orb on top, basically rulership of the realm. Kind of nice to see her seated in nature. Now, for those of you who are like me, still learning galactically, okay, I see Venus as a planet. It is the second planet from our star named Sol. Sol is the name of our sun. So the first planet orbiting the sun, of course, is Mercury. And then the second planet is Venus. Venus in astrology is the ruler of the sign of both Taurus and Libra. Interesting, right? The second and the seventh house. Venus, the goddess of love, rules both of these houses. In the second house, it's about our money, our property, creativity, beauty, and aesthetics. In the seventh house, it's how we partner and choose marriage, a marriage partner, or someone that we go into business because we love what we're doing. Okay. Could also be you and a counselor, like a psychologist or a therapist. It's opening your heart into another person. That's the seventh house. Whereas the second house is more about, okay, here's my stuff. Here's the boundary. Here's my property. Here's my car. Here's my money. So Venus, god of love, got to have the money and the stuff sometimes to basically move through the third dimensional realms. Just going back to the solar system, here's just another image to share with you about, here's the sun, Mercury, Venus, and then the Earth with our moon orbiting planet Earth. All right, I'm going to end here by just saying the next little chat I'd like to offer is there an energetic connection now, speaking from a galactic perspective, between what I'm tuning into as Venus Hathor, the Hathors, this group that we find their statuary in Egypt, in the Temple of Dendera, and other places. So I'm making this kind of playful connection. Who rules from the heart? Who is the galactic epitome of Aphrodite, the goddess of love, beyond the planet Venus? So, how can we work with this archetypal divine feminine who rules, the queen? So, thank you so much for joining me. I'll be back soon on the Ascension Playground to talk a little bit more about these galactic connections. In fact, I'm kind of hearing talk about the Queen, Cassiopeia, as well, and making this connection between the Empress card of Tarot and the galactic soul connections up in the heavens. Take care, everybody, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.